The Omo Valley in southern Ethiopia is a land where survival is a daily battle. Here the Mercy tribe thrives, fierce, resilient, and iconic, known for their independence and the striking lip plates worn by their women. Life here is raw and unchanged, shaped by acacia thorns, dusty riverbeds, and distant mountains. My mission: spend 24 hours living as one of them, stripped of all modern comforts. The Mercy are warriors and pastoralists, their lives revolving around cattle and the struggle for water and grazing land. To survive, I'd need their knowledge and acceptance. The air is thick with the scent of earth and wood smoke, the silence broken only by insects or cattle. The Mercy have carved out an existence where most would perish, with a strength that humbles outsiders. My real test would be cultural immersion, connecting without a shared language, learning through humility. 24 hours here would feel like a lifetime. The journey to the Mercy village was a bone-rattling ride, a test of endurance that shook both body and spirit. Each jolt of the 4x4 over the rugged dirt road seemed to strip away the modern world, mile by mile, as we ventured deeper into the heart of Ethiopia. We entered a world seemingly untouched by time, where the landscape stretched endlessly, wild and unspoiled, and the air felt thick with stories of generations past. The village appeared like an ancient mirage, huts of sticks and grass clustered behind thorny fences, their shapes blending into the earth. Children's laughter rang out, bright and free, mingling with the rhythmic clang of a blacksmith's hammer shaping tools for survival. I was met by tall, scarred warriors, their bodies marked with stories of courage and tradition. There were no handshakes, no words of welcome, just silent, intense scrutiny, as if they were weighing my intentions and my worth. My guide introduced me to Doto, the village elder. His eyes, wise and unyielding, studied me in a silence that felt both tense and sacred. After a long pause, his subtle nod became my entry pass. The challenge of acceptance was set before me. Inside the village, I was struck by the marvel of practical design. Every object had a purpose, every structure a reason. Nothing was superfluous, everything was crafted for survival and efficiency. The cattle pen stood at the heart of the community, its thorny fence a vital defense against predators and thieves. Here, cattle were more than livestock. They were life, wealth, and status. Nothing was wasted. Everything was born from necessity. Old metal became new tools, discarded objects found new life, and every scrap was valued in this cycle of resourcefulness. As I walked through the village, I realized I was stepping into the ultimate lesson in sustainable living, a place where ingenuity and tradition shaped every aspect of daily life. Here, survival is a communal effort, woven into the fabric of every day. Each task, from tending cattle to building shelters, was shared, and every day was a test of resilience and unity. The test for me had just begun. I was no longer just an observer. I was being drawn into their world, invited to participate, to learn, and to contribute. The real learning was about to start. I was ready to discover what it truly meant to live in harmony with the land, guided by the wisdom of the Mercy. My day began before sunrise, as the first hints of light crept over the horizon, and the world was still wrapped in a gentle, expectant silence. The air was cool, almost crisp, and the only sounds were the distant calls of birds and the soft rustle of the wind through the grass. Slowly, the village began to stir in the cool dawn. Shadows moved between the huts as families emerged, starting fires and preparing for the day ahead. There was a sense of quiet purpose, a routine shaped by generations of survival in this harsh but beautiful land. Woken by Komet, a young boy assigned as my guide, I was thrust into the rhythm of Mercy life. Komet, barely a teenager, already carried himself with the confidence and knowledge of someone twice his age. He greeted me with a shy smile, but his eyes were sharp and observant. Our first task was fetching water, a trek of several kilometers to muddy pits in a dry riverbed. This was not a simple errand, but a daily journey that defined the pace and priorities of the community. The path was rough, winding through thorny bushes and sun-baked earth. Komet moved with practiced ease. His steps were light, his balance perfect, as if he had been born with a water pot on his head. I, on the other hand, struggled with the heavy clay pot, my arms aching and my pace faltering. Each step felt like a challenge, and I quickly realized how much strength and resilience the simple task required. Every drop was precious. every step a lesson in endurance. The sun was rising higher, and the weight of the water seemed to grow with every passing minute. I could see the determination etched on the faces of those around me. The water was murky, tinged with earth and life, but it was life itself, vital and irreplaceable in this unforgiving environment. The Mersey tolerate what would sicken outsiders. For me, it was a risk I had to take. I hesitated, but the need for hydration outweighed my doubts. Sharing this water was an act of trust and necessity. Fetching water revealed the daily struggle and the respect earned by those who do it. It was a communal effort, a shared burden that brought people together and forged bonds of mutual reliance. On the way back, Comet pointed out animal tracks, reading the land like a book. He explained which animals had passed, how recently, and what dangers or opportunities they might present. This was more than a chore. It was a lesson in survival and awareness, a crash course in reading the subtle signs of nature and understanding the delicate balance of life here. The day had barely begun, and already I was learning what it takes to endure here. My body was tired, but my mind was awakening to the realities of survival in this land. Every moment was a test of adaptability, a reminder that survival is not just about strength, but about learning, respect, and the will to keep going, no matter how tough the challenge. With water secured, food was next. The Mersey's cattle are too valuable to eat often, so their diet relies on sorghum porridge and foraged roots. I joined a group of men hunting for edible tubers, learning to spot the right plants and dig them from the hard earth. My hands blistered quickly, but a nod from Gola, a warrior, marked my small success. Every calorie here is earned through sweat and skill. Later, I witnessed a cow's blood being drawn and mixed with milk, a vital, sustainable source of nutrition. This practice, shocking to outsiders, is a brilliant adaptation to scarcity. The Mersey's relationship with their animals is symbiotic, not wasteful. Food here is about survival, not luxury. Every meal is a testament to ingenuity and respect for life. I was humbled by how disconnected I am from my own food sources. Here, nothing is taken for granted. As the afternoon heat peaked, the village slowed for rest and repairs. I helped repair a donga hut, simple, ingenious structures built from local materials. Under the guidance of an elder woman, I learned to weave grass mats and tie knots. My clumsy efforts met with patient smiles. Building shelter is a communal task. Everyone contributes, reinforcing the bonds of the village. The huts are designed for insulation, mobility, and defense, every detail a response to the environment. The process revealed the genius of survival architecture. A strong hut means a strong family and a strong village. Here, shelter is more than a roof. It's a product of generations of wisdom. Survival is built, quite literally, by many hands. As evening fell, the village gathered around cooking fires for the main meal. I joined Dodo's family, sharing sorghum porridge from a communal bowl under the open sky. At first, I felt like an outsider, but as we ate, the barriers faded. The children grew curious, ladder bridging the gap between us. Communication was mostly gestures, but the exchange was genuine. I learned about their worries, their families, and they asked about my world. Sharing food broke down walls and built trust. Gratitude filled me, for the hard-won meal, for their acceptance. This wasn't about taste, but about community and connection. The meal nourished more than my body, it fed my spirit. In that moment, I truly belonged. Night in the Omo Valley is absolute. No lights, just a sky ablaze with stars. But with darkness comes danger. Predators and the threat of raids. The thorny fence became a lifeline, and the men took turns guarding the village. I joined Gola on patrol, his senses attuned to every sound and shadow. My own senses felt dull. I was utterly dependent on their vigilance. Fear was real, but for the Mersey, it's mastered, not avoided. Sleep was elusive, every sound outside the thin hut walls a reminder of vulnerability. Yet the family slept soundly. This was their normal. Their courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to face it nightly. I realized true toughness is mental fortitude, not just physical strength. The night was a test of trust and adaptation. I survived, but only because of them. The darkness taught me humility. As the first rays of dawn crept over the savannah, a gentle warmth replaced the chill of the night. The sounds of the village slowly came to life, roosters crowing, distant laughter, and the crackle of morning fires. Dawn brought not just relief, but a profound sense of accomplishment. I had survived the night in a world so different from my own, and I felt a quiet pride settle in my chest. The villagers' attitudes had shifted in subtle but unmistakable ways. Where there had once been skepticism and wary glances, now there was quiet respect and even a hint of curiosity. Their eyes met mine with a new openness, as if acknowledging that I had passed an unspoken test. Comet, one of the younger men, approached me with a wide grin and offered a gourd of fresh milk, a gesture that spoke volumes in this culture. It was more than just a drink. It was an invitation to friendship, a sign that I was no longer just an outsider. We had forged a bond through shared hardship, not words. The challenges of the night had created a silent understanding between us, a connection that transcended language and background. Doto, the respected elder, approached with a slow, deliberate step. He placed a weathered hand on my shoulder and looked into my eyes. "You have a strong heart. You are welcome here," he said, his voice carrying the weight of tradition and acceptance. It was the highest honor I could receive, a gesture that meant I was no longer a stranger, but a guest worthy of trust and respect. I hadn't mastered their way of life, not by a long shot, but I'd earned a measure of acceptance. I was invited to join in their daily routines, to share in their laughter and their work, and for a brief moment, I felt like I belonged. As I prepared to leave, the villagers gathered quietly around me. Their presence was a silent farewell, filled with meaning and emotion. Gola's handshake was firm, his eyes shining with pride. The children, who had watched me with wide-eyed fascination, now waved enthusiastically, their smiles bittersweet. I felt a pang of sadness at the thought of leaving this place and these people behind. In just 24 hours, I'd been changed by their resilience, their unwavering sense of community, and their ability to find joy in the simplest moments. Their way of life had left a mark on me that I knew would last long after I returned home. They showed me what truly matters: connection, strength, and a deep respect for the land that sustains them. Their unity was their greatest strength, and it was something I would carry with me. The experience stripped away the non-essentials, revealing what was truly important. In the raw simplicity of their lives, I found a clarity I'd never known before. The human spirit, I learned, is the ultimate survival tool. It is our ability to adapt, to connect, and to find meaning in adversity that defines us. In the dust and dawn of this village, I discovered a bond that would stay with me forever. Leaving the village, I looked back at the huts, an outpost of humanity in a wild land. My body was exhausted, but my spirit soared. The experience was more than a survival test. It was a lesson in what it means to be human. The Mercy have no modern conveniences, but possess knowledge and resilience we've lost. Their wealth is measured in cattle, family, and community, not possessions. Hardship is constant, but so is their social richness. Interdependence is their strength. My understanding of strength and happiness was recalibrated. I left humbled, carrying their lessons: value community, respect the earth, and find strength in connection. The sun rose on